Hello and dearly welcome to the EPP podcast. My name is Swert. I'm the player of Italy, and for some content creation and some lulz, I wanted to do a small podcast because right now we don't have a podcast, and I think it's really good and engaging for the community if we would have one. I feel a bit sorry if it's not that well produced, like the one with Serenade and Distinct. I'm not as good as them at the game or in the game theory, but I will try my best to make a decent overview about the nations, estimate powers, and talk a bit about the nation. I will probably add timestamps if I'm not too lazy to the video. If you have some suggestions, please hit me up, comments or on Discord. I will disable the sound for a bit. I will make a cool song play. So, we will start with China, or Japan in that case. We're looking at Oda. Oda won Japan. Oda right now has swapped to Manchurian culture and accepted Korean Saigoku Togoku and Kyushan. So, as you can see in the culture group, he converted nearly all of his country to Manchu culture. So he can produce a lot of amazing banners. Like banners are nerfed in Ubor, as you can see. I will show you. They have 1% discipline bonus instead of 10, which still makes them a really good asset to have, but they're way weaker than a vanilla. Right now, Oda has an income of 174 ducats, making 61 in trade, nearly all of it in Nippon, which is not that much of a trade value, but with the 75% trade efficiency, he is making some decent cash. He could still make a bit more cash, but as you can see, he still has corruption he needs to pay. His army is really big compared to his size, and he's having triple free advisors with reduced cost, 50%. It's actually like he's not paying that much for advisors. His ruler is a 253 with Secretive, not the best. Certainly there are better rulers in the world, but it's better than having a total garbage ruler. He has a lot of monarch points spent, but 0 power projection, which is a huge jikes because you can get way more points with it. I think once he embraces the global trade, which should be in the soonish future, probably 1610, 1612, he can make a really nice jump attack. He already used some ideas. He still has his power build to force limit modifier up, which can probably make a small difference. I wouldn't say it's worth determining, but that is a nice thing to have in the bag. He's running the development cost and culture conversion cost policies right now. A good choice with the culture conversion cost policy, so he can continue to culture convert everything to Manchu. Goods produced in army tradition, so pretty standard setup. For policies, he still has Oda ideas. Of course, he did not form another country. Oda ideas are pretty good. Nice goods produced. Leader fire. Fire damage 20% is really good. And then 10-10 here. He went plutocratic religious quality economics. As you know, in Ubor, it does not change a lot with policies, so the idea groups are way stronger on their own compared to vanilla EU4. So like combos like quality economic are still good because the ideas are good, but it's not as determining as it should be in vanilla. A real nice thing here is that he has a lot of the infantry buff, 10% more. With the policy that he could enact, it's 35%, which is pretty decent. He already has 2 additional fire pips with his ideas, so he gets a lot of fire on his generals. The weighable mercenaries are really good as well. He has the 5% morale from religious ideas and a lot of other useful stuff like the 20% manpower recovery speed, which puts him at 1782, which will probably go to 2k after his nobility. It's back on track. Quality RDS is pretty good because you get army tradition, shock damage, which is meh at that point, artillery combat ability, and 5% discipline, which is a pretty good thing. I think plutocratic overall is not the thing I would have taken, but I am not an expert on the game. Economic ideas is to round up. 30% force limit is nothing to scowl at. As we can check his army right now, he should withdraw 6 here. He has a pretty decent general, 5-3, not the best, but that's a solid general. And overall, he has a big army of 217. Can probably go a bit above if he wants, because manpower are, if you prepare manpower troops in a war, it's way better than to have mercs, because mercs are way reduced in a war. 55 is not that big, nothing to scoff off, but that's not even 2 combat whiffs. So the next country we will look at is the country of ducks, Manchu, who started as Liang, then formed Han, I think, and then formed Manchu. He has the Han ideas, I think the Han ideas are one of the best, if not the best idea overall that are in Ubor. I would say Siam ideas and the vanilla nerfed ones are still decent as well. You get 20% ICA, 50% land force limit, 10% goods, still so lazy, and having no description feels bad, man. 5% discipline, 20% fire damage interest per annum, useless fort defense, monthly war exhaustion, and all power cost. Dax had a lot of early wars. He killed Serenade, who started as Jiangsu, I think. Overall defensive into quality, so he gets stealthy. And the morale buff. That's a pretty vanilla-like build that you could see a lot of times. I really like this combo because now he has 20% death cost reduction. He has only 1 enabled, so you could get 30 with universities. Is he on university timing yet? No, he will. And then he could get on 50%, 60% with the policy, and then you get the efficiency as well, so you're pretty good to go for big developments. He has not that much points compared to Oda. He's running 333, way cheaper overall. He has a good ruler, but he will sadly die soon. His income is 156. It's really suboptimal, but as you can see, he has not the richest part of Asia, so I would say it's pretty good. He's paying a lot of his army. He's paying his army. I don't know for what. His stack management is a bit odd in my eyes. Like, interesting to say at least. I don't see that much banners. Yeah, I don't see any banners, which is confusing. And he will get the huge buff because he's magic primary culture, and the next age where he can get more banners. Overall, his army stats are, that's not that good. Like, his army professionalism is really good. 81%, is probably the best in the world, if I'm not wrong. His force limit is decent. Here he's getting a reduced one because of stupid loan impact, because I'm changing players and you're still applying the AI debuff. His estates are pretty decent. His reforms, he can here take the reform here. He's waiting. Which is odd. I don't know why, but yeah, like the autocracy is good. I still think plutocratic is a bit better, plutocracy. Otherwise pretty standard. Then he can take aristocratic court states general, or parliamentarism if he's going wild and wants to be a cool kid. Just kidding, by the way. And then he is good to go on that front as well. The thing is, right now they have a pretty border here. We would need to rush down a mountain for it. Overall, I really want someone to start pushing. Like, if you're comparing diplomatic to Asians, you see a Yuan Oda alliance and a somewhat Manchu Wu alliance. Here's Wu's paying Manchu. And then you have Malaya as well. So we will take a look at Wu. Wu will probably form one of the formables. I think it was Song that he wanted to farm. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. His ideas are pretty okay. 10% trade, 10% dev cost, tech cost. It's good, but there are somewhat better ideas. I think they have a lot of potential, and I don't know all the new Chinese ideas. He has no religion harmonized with probably the worst old world religions with Confucian. I think it's still garbage. This thing, please fix. His nation overall has a decent force limit. His morale is at the same level of Dax at 5, which is not that good. Even looking at that he has military drill, which is a bit underwhelming, and he already has Sate here. And he even got Hong Kong and Macau. That's pretty good for Sate, so he can already control trade. That will be, I think, an area of conflict in the future. Wu has some points. He's running a 555 advisors. That's a really good one. And 3 colonies. The Gallifrax dimension. New Transoceania. And Shiwania. Excuse me if I say something wrong. With the reworked trade, you can set all this nice trade back, which will make a lot of cash in the future. Yeah, we have a lot of manpower in reserve, 2,355, which is really okay-ish for his size. Like, he is not that big. He's a great power, but overall, like, he can still develop a lot of land. Like here, he has a really good developed land overall, but as you can see here, lots of potential left, even here in the Guangxi state. So the next nation we will look at is Yuan. Yuan has a lot of money saved up, has a pretty odd ruler, 641, great in admin, good in dip and garbage at mill. Trades are pretty good, like his hair is really nice. I don't know why so many people are running discipline advices at tier 3. One ideas from the base game, pretty nice. Aristocratic ideas, quality. I think he went for the calf build. Yeah, he is going for the full calf build. With Cossacks, pretty decent build. His generals are really good. Like, I think he's one of the stronger nations in Asia, if not with Siam the strongest right now, because Cav is really good on this build. The nice diplomatic pickup, which is I think one of the most underrated ideas in the mod, because 10% goods produced, 3% discipline, an additional pip, and then overall a nice overall set. It's a diplomatic idea. Need to think about that. Diplomatic ideas are usually trash for warfare and such. What is he running for policies? Culture conversion codes produced and siege ability. Overall pretty okay-ish. I don't know why he's running. Oh, nice visual bug. That's the deserter arc. So that's pretty decent. Here he went the steppe nomads. It's pretty good. Like, I really dislike overall how the hordes work, but this big thing is that he runs estates, which is really nice, because then later on he can use a lot. He has nothing assigned to his estates, which I think is a misplay overall, but his country is still looking really decent at that point. Or 130 income, which is pretty bad on the time frame, so I think he needs to act quickly and use his military strength, because I don't think he will stay that strong for long. Like, horde unity is already a bitch to deal with. So we are coming to one of the formables introduced new boars, Siam. Siam had an amazing ruler. I think it was a 656 for nearly 3 sessions, and now 343, running full 5 advice. Oh man, 60 ducats in advices, and that's already with well connected fields. Bad man. 383, like, he's making a shit ton of cash. His army is at 112. He's overforced them with a lot, 500 units. Like, he has one if not the biggest army in the world right now. I think it's the biggest one. With Hindu as well. I think Siam is probably, if you count up morale, 4.5 is not that good. But he has a quality offensive pickup, which is a real discipline focused one. He has 10% discipline in his ideas. I think the idea set is really good with the 35-10 combo, and I think Siam will be a beast. I think he is nearly kept on states with only 5 more. He can still develop a lot of shit. Like here, already nicely developed land. But here it's still a lot of potential. He has 3,000 manpower recovery, which is better than all of the other Asians. So it's Yuan. And here he is already in an area with Malaya, but it seems like they worked it out. 110 ducats, holy moly. So there's Malaya is really strong. Siam is probably the strongest Asian country. No, I would say it's the strongest Asian country. So we are jumping to Malaya. Malaya is making not that much cash compared to Siam. 360. The military is, as expected, rather weak. Like, he's a naval focused nation. He's making his final colonies. I think it will run into a war with China in the long run. He's already running 160 heavy ships. Like, I think he could beat Great Britain at this point and push him out. Malaya is your generic trade nation in that sense. Global settler death cost, the usual jazz. I don't know why he's not running the trade efficiency or such that you would boost his income a bit, I would say. So I will go to the country played by Susuni, the Mughals. Yes, I just hear tales of him getting wrecked in India by Serenade and Krikisi. Sorry if I misspelled your name. Yeah, like he's getting some problems in India in that war. That didn't work. Overall, the Mughals have not that much of an manpower recovery. Probably like nothing at all. He runs the Mughals 80 school, shock damage received. His income is I would say that's the I am actually this country looks weaker like when he took it over. Like, this is not looking that good. Like, he's going bankrupt, and then he will probably die to Rum or Ethiopia, India, everyone. Like, he can defend his land, but not that well built up. Like, nearly no manufactories. Oh man, these manufactories are so good. Well, strong workshops not built. A lot of regimental camps though. He went with an vassal strat early game. He has nothing of his ideas done. Quality, economic, plutocratic, innovative. I would say he's in a downfall. I just don't see the Mughals surviving that long. He still has Timurid ideas, running the Mughal things. His nation is looking really, really sad right now. I think the days are numbered. I think he will die next session. So I will come to the next nation, Ethiopia, which is currently in a war with Monkey Man and Susuni. Oh man, look at that Ring of Death. Can't wake up. Interesting that he has the Malayan. And what is this? He's way above first limit. Like, I think this war, like, I think all of these two nations and probably Mughals as well will bankrupt. that's well built up, but no one can move here. His idea pickups are defensive plutocratic. Like I say that most ideas that I picked are quality, defensive, and plutocratic. Until now, I still say that quality is hard nerfed compared to vanilla EU4, but a lot of players like the Streltsy and the Discipline early on. Defensive ideas is probably one of the most underrated pickups. I have not seen that many nations play it compared to what I estimated. And plutocratic ideas is I think really nice because of the additional pips, because offensive does not give you pips, so you can play a pip focus, but economic and innovative are for the dev cost. That's probably one of the closest builds to the meta game. Ethiopian ideas are buffed. He has around 2000 manpower recovery. Nation's looking decent for the situation it's in, but I think Ethiopia will probably die the next 1 or 2 sessions. The nation is just way too small and weak compared to its neighbors Butua and Rum. That tier is sexy for Butua and Siam as well. I don't think this nation will survive much longer. Estates are pretty good. This is nice as well. Admin focuses for the policy. So we'll go to Butua. Butua overall is in a strong spot. Italy gave it Orthodox. Nation is not that rich as well. Oof, he's losing Madagascar to rebels. Feels bad, man. Yeah, really, like he has a lot of rebel troubles, but I think he will clear it. He's pushing back Sassoon here. With 220k stacks, that's an interesting setup. And he's a theocracy. Theocracies are buffed in the patch, in the mod. I think you get the morale and death cost separate. No, you get the 10% morale of armies here, which is really nice. Then you can get 3 policies, which is really nice. Secularization with the absolutism buff. Certainly there are better options, but I don't think it's worse. Way too much territories, he's taking some corruption already. The nation ain't weak overall. He has 3000 manpower. I think the nation has the most potential out of any nations left, because he has the most number of provinces. Yeah, you could run better than that, Serenade. Only 1. Not even loans. Not that deep. I think this country has the most potential, but also some area of conflict. So I still think Butua can win, but it's depending on the European allies. So I will analyze Rum next. Rum's played by Monkey Man, receiving a lot of cash from Italy, 51 ducats. He's making a lot of loss. That's nearly 1 loan each 2 months. He's nearly out of manpower. He's making a lot of money in Constantinople. Would be a shame if it would be raided. His army is probably one of the biggest 5.24. Yeah, we will look at the Butua as well. I forgot that. Which is a really important thing actually. He's at 6.26. Has a really nice setup here. With the shock damage. I somewhat disagree with that. Has he already 4 policies? I disagree with the shock damage. I think he could have rolled. Oh, he has already great generals, so never mind. That's probably the better pick. Rum has a really strong economy compared to the other nations. Oof. One day happened, and then this shit happened, so please ignore. Strong income. Overall nation is nearly finished with innovative ideas soonish. Rum is looking like the strongest nation right now in The game combined with Great Britain, I would rate it on place 2. He still needs to convert a lot of land, but this nation is big. He has a decent morale and everything, a big force limit with 478, he can still get some monarch points. Overall, a strong looking nation. I think Rum is the second strongest nation in the world right now. So, Muscovy has died, Ruthenia will probably die next session because the player is not there. So we will look at distinct country. Like this country went, well, through some hardships, I would argue. Rather unfortunate session from distinct. His income is utter shit, 116. He has still a lot of problems. I think he has not gained prosperity yet, so this will skyrocket. He still has Swedish ideas. I agree with having Swedish ideas. I think Swedish ideas are still one of the best idea sets in the game, and the difference to the Russian set would not be that big to justify swapping it, because Russia is not that strong like this thing intended to. Of course, he started from Sweden, but it's not like he can just overrun someone with 1 million units. Time of troubles is probably not happening. He had internal conflicts. He has reduced inflation cost, death cost. His nation has a lot of trouble regarding inflation. That will hurt. He went quantity ideas, which is a really nice pickup, because his nation and first limit is really big. He has nearly 6 morale with the morale policy and advisor. Nice name. His estates are looking good, like his culture converting right now as far as I am aware of. Yes. Still a lot of stuff to do for the nation. I think the nation is in a good spot, because he's somewhat friendly to Great Britain, and Italy is not pushing against him, which is a big misplay of Italy. Italy is even financing him. But I think distinct as a player makes the difference. So, next country I will talk about is Poland, played by Don Camillo. Poland has still to build a lot of manufactories, regimental camps, and barracks. Like, the country is not in a bad shape overall, but it's financially dependent on Italy, which is subsidizes 65 ducats. Russia is not yet built up as well. Rum is built up, so sorry if I forgot that. Poland has one of the strongest armies in the world right now, 6.4% discipline. Like, he has an aristocratic defensive cav focused build. I think it's a strong build, but right now with the nerfed Polish ideas, his lack of discipline will start to show. 105% with realistic 115 is not that strong compared to other things. I think it's rather underwhelming. His income is not that strong. That's a pretty normal setup for a cav focused nation. Yeah, he has some points built in. He could still consecrate metropolitans. He's making mistakes in advisors, like wasting big numbers of cash for him, which I heavily disagree with. I think in Europe he will most likely see a war between these two nations and these two long term. And then you have Rum and Russia, who are the switching sets, because that's not like this part here. Northern Germany is not going to stay that way. No way. I think Poland has one of the biggest potentials if he would pick up quality ideas next, or quantity. I think quality would be a better pickup for him. But on the one hand, I think Poland has one of the best potentials left in the game, but on the other side, I think Poland is not that strong anymore. Like, he has decent manpower recovery of 3.3k. His force limit is at around 400. Has 50% CCA on CAF, which is really nice. Nice professionalism. But I think he's weaker than all of the other Europeans west to him. So, next nation I'm going to look at is Great Britain, played by Zaid. Zaid is by far the richest nation in the game with 444 ducats. He is Protestant, he can still farm some points later on. Oh, that's a stupid AI bug, because I continued one day. He pressed most of his missions. I need to check if he used Rule Britannia. That's probably one of the most interesting things, because I can still see him lose against Malaya in the naval battle, and Malaya is the counterweight against him. He has a nice reach. I think I'm too dumb to find the mission right now. I don't even know if it's here. Fuck this. Here he has 10% goods produced, 20% advisor cost, 10% trade efficiency. I disagree with the pickup of advisor cost. This nation has no business in saving money. Like, his income is bigger than Poland's with subs or from most nations in the game, and that's not even his total. His estates are looking fine. He has some points stored in. I think he will get even more from Spain that got killed when Triple Alliance from France, Great Britain and Italy. He has exploration quality, plutocratic innovative, so nearly the same setup as Italy has, and with 3 colonies played by Aussie, a pretty strong stand in the world. If you look at Great Britain, he has as well some parts of Africa, so I think I would say Great Britain is the strongest nation in the game. He has a lot of fire buffs. He sadly has the 10% discipline event already. Great Britain is probably, it is the strongest nation in the game right now. I just hope Zaid will fight wars better than he did against Spain. That was pretty underwhelming. So, France. France has a lot of cash stored in. We'll probably use university timings. No, you can still build a lot of manufactories. He is maxed out on regimental camps. You can still build some barracks. Workshops are nothing good. Some points of 100 power projection, really nice. He's saving way too much money on monarch point generation and advisors. His nation has probably the strongest standing army in all of Europe. 6.6 morale is nothing to scoff at. He has an amazing setup right now. Subpar generals. He had a lot of bad luck according to him. He has 3.5k manpower rack. His nation is probably the strongest manpower infantry wise. He has defensive, diplomatic ideas and quality. Excuse me, sorry. He has defensive quality, which is probably one of the better setups in the mod. I think it's the best in my humble opinion. With the nice pickup of diplomatic ideas, with that expansion into Spain, he's looking really hot. He already has something secured. And with Age of Absolutism, he's only getting better. He still can press all of this. Nice modifiers as well. He has the morale, ACA, discipline. Like, that's his only weakness. Like, he has nearly no combat modifiers outside of the 10% CCA from quality ideas. His income is somewhat decent. It can be better, but if need be, Great Britain will just finance him. So the next nation I will look at are the 13 colonies. 13 colonies have a lot of cash. They can build a lot of manufacturers. The Furor manufacturers are probably going to be big. He's collecting here right now. Oh, and sending money towards the North Sea. So, sending most of his cash away. He can form a nation later on. I think the ideas are somewhat okay-ish right now, as he's still expanding. and I don't even know the rules regarding breaking. Average morale, but he's only farming AI right now, so I don't see any problems. Army size is decent. You can still pick up the wooden wall. Yeah, average colonial nation, just a bit stronger. The Isles, played by Slaying Beast, are sitting in Morocco. I think accepting Yucatec would be decent. His nation is looking pretty good. I can still build a law. Holy fuck. He should build that. He can still build a lot of buildings, like he has no infrastructure built up. His ideas set up. He has the Highlander ideas, which are pretty okay. I think they're way better ideas, but at least he has 15% morale. He's going for exploration, plutocratic quality, so he's having a decent overall build. I think exploration is still not that good. You get a pipe for your navy and 5% additional damage, but it's not that good. Like, you have 46 gold, income from gold. This nation can be built up to be a way stronger one. I still dislike the IL set over overset. Like, for example, Texas would have been way better, but he's not able to farm it, so he can't do it. Like, not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. His army is probably the weakest player army in the world. It's pretty underwhelming. I think these were all player controlled nations. I will take a look at my own nation in Italy and trash talk it a bit, because this thing is too lazy to trash talk it. Feels bad, man. I just conquered a lot of Spanish clay. That will probably see some change with France and England. The nation has nearly fully built manufactories. It has nearly full built regimental camps outside of the stuff that still needs to be developed. Lacking training fields. Universities has yet to be built. Some monarch points saved. Still not at save cap. That the burgers is a disaster. It's just really bad. He's making 324 ducats in income. I think his income will go to close to 370, 380, so he will reach Siam. His army is really strong, 25% right now. He already has his buffs in. He has a slightly higher morale than France, with the 15% from the ideas. Good generals, like this 5-3 one is really good. Italy is running an other build with trade ideas. I really like the trade ideas pickup from Italy. The fire, additionally, the fire is a nice addition. I think overall for a cash-focused nation, which Italy was intended to be, maritime is a nice pickup as well, but that would be in the future. Diplomatic ideas are really good as well. I dislike the quality plutocratic build up. I think defensive would be way better. In that case, it would put him above 7 morale right now, which would be really nice. His next pickup would probably be quantity ideas or defensive. He's growing corruption, that's because the growth. He's giving out a lot of money. I think he should stop doing that. I think it's a bad play. He has 3,100 with the power of St. Michael, which is not that strong. He's still converting a lot because the stupid center in Baron running somewhat okay-ish advices. His ruler is really garbage. I think Italy has a lot of potential, but you can see that the player is still not yet experienced the proper multiplayer. Somewhat okay-ish fort setup. He has Algiers as a march. Algiers is not that strong, but 24k, yeah, 24k. I would see him fighting against France or Poland or Great Britain or Rum. I think he's in a good and bad position. Overall, like, he still needs to build up a fort here. Like Lian's should be a fort. Yeah, I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch this garbage overview of the EPP nations and the campaign. 1698 is the year. I think it's the first proper EU-Boer campaign. I really enjoyed playing EU-Boer. EU-Boer has some problems, but overall it's a better experience than playing vanilla EU4, so I really like it. So shoutouts to Distinct for making the mod. Yes, overall, what would be my prediction for the three strongest nation? I think everyone is a winner as long as you had fun at the campaign. And I don't even know how a winner is determined, because it's my first EPP campaign. I would say overall the strongest country right now is Great Britain, played by Zaid. It's a really strong state. Overall, Great Britain is just bonkers. If this is the first Great Britain I actually see doing what Great Britain is supposed to be, strong land power as well, because it's just so rich and uncontested on the sea. If you're not a total noob. Second strongest nation is Siam or Rum. I would say Rum right now, after they recovered from the bankruptcy war. Impressive player, impressive build up. I still think he should be checked by nations, but I don't think a lot of nations are willing to. Italy is somewhat liking him as well. Siam on place 3. Overall, Eotasm, I think that's his name, made a pretty nice country, fully built manufactories as well. On 4th place, I would probably have a stalemate between Butua, Italy, France, because Butua has the highest potential of any nation left. France still can build up a lot and is in a really good spot, and Italy is rich as fuck, and if he would focus on his own good instead of his allies, he would be way stronger as well. I still think Italy is flying under the radar a lot right now. I think Italy can take on most European nations one-on-one. I think he would beat France in a one-on-one if it would go all out right now, because France has no manpower. The professionalism are somewhat equal. 76% is really good for not having the diplomatic ideas. Yeah, overall I think the winner of the last session... that's actually a good question. I would say biggest losers are Mughals and Spain. A big win overall was for Hungary, played